So, distinguished minister, experts, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start Sitra's new program, or to launch Sitra's new program on energy. And I'd like to use another title as well. One was introduced by Jukka Noponen, but another one I found when I read news from the International Energy Agency and its Energy Technology Perspectives 2008. They used the phrase, now or never. And I think it's a good phrase when starting this kind of program. Really, we have to start operating now or never, such kind of challenges we are today facing. That report, Energy Agency report, included several alternatives for the future. If the present trend is going to be continued, they called it baseline alternative, baseline or business as usual scenario. It will lead to a situation that by 2050 we will the CO2 emissions will rise by 130% and oil demand by 70%. I participated recently one US-Russia seminar in New York, and there the vice chairman of the board of directors of company Chevron explained what does it mean if this business as usual development is going to be continued. Chevron has invested in a new oil production plant in Kazakhstan. It has been finalized, and it is going to have 0.3% impact on the world oil supply. And the investment made is of the size of Panama Canal construction. If and when consumption is growing roughly 3% annual per annum, it means that we need 10 Panama Canal investments per day to meet the growth of consumption. So business as usual is totally impossible alternative to be followed from a resource perspective, but even more from environmental or ecological perspective. Another alternative this report included is so-called ACT scenario, which means that CO2 emissions will be back to current levels by 2050. But it is not sustainable alternative, that one either. Blue scenarios show that CO2 emissions will be reduced to 50% below the current levels by 2050 is the recommendation of the Energy Agency. What does it mean? It means that we need $45 trillion investments by 2050 to meet those objectives set. So we need a real revolution. Typically revolutions have been destroying first and then starting to construct something instead. But now we need another type of revolution, and I believe that this revolution should be a systemic revolution. It's not enough that we will have top-down arrangements made, but we need as well bottom-up activities, bottom-up approaches, and combination, integration of these two. And this is why Sitra has involved, because we believe that we are the best actor in Finland to create opportunities for that kind of systemic approaches. So I'm sorry, now I'm going to move to Finnish because it's easier for me to explain what does it mean in practice in my mother language. Sitra on siis ollut tällainen
So, Sitra The Finnish Innovation Fund has carried out or implemented such systemic changes before, and when we adopted the current program model in 2004, this characteristic has been even further highlighted. We want to operate on two different axes. We want to influence the top-level strategy decision-making as well as the grassroots development project level. Also, we want to be there to draw forecasts, to plan the future. But at the same time, we want to be part in making very practical decisions about making the future reality. And in practice, this may mean, for example, making investments in practical projects. How can we use this sort of a systemic approach to promote the development now needed in the energy sector? The realistic thing to do would be to define the area in which we want to operate, and we have ended up with two different areas: the use of energy by communities and the production of reasonable energy solutions in the everyday life of citizens. We wanted to define two areas where a systemic approach can bring effective results. The use of energy in communities is challenging because there are many different actors, there are conflicting interests, the area is very fragmented. A lot is done and many good things are achieved, of course, but at the same time there is a lot of part optimization, which doesn't perhaps always lead to the best possible results as a whole. So we need a national willingness and clear incentives for energy efficiency. These are the goals that we have now defined for this area. Revolutionary challenges call for revolutionary means. We must find new approaches, and we believe that in the future buildings, houses can be seen not only as consuming energy, but also as producers of energy. Also, we believe that regions too can change from being consumers of energy into self-sufficient areas. I also believe that we will find new solutions in renovating existing buildings, and I think this will be even more important in the future. And there, finally, we will see how much we are able to achieve. And of course, we also need breakthroughs, immediate breakthroughs. It's not enough to have some exemplary projects in low energy housings. We need tens of thousands of new houses built by using low energy principles. As regards the attitudes necessary to bring about this change among citizens, we have to start by accepting the fact that citizens cannot start acting on their own. We need some sort of an architecture in order to bring about change. We cannot, for example, require that in order to reduce standby consumption, each and every citizen must take action. We must create general approaches which enable us to reduce standby power consumption. What is also very important is that citizens are consumers who make choices, and these consumers can, with their choices, very strongly affect the end result. Ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the themes Sitra is now introducing in connection with its new energy program. We are convinced that we are working for a very important objective, and the number of participants in the seminar, I think, also proves that this is a sector where there are many partners, many stakeholders, and that of course creates excellent prerequisites for a successful program. You could also say that our challenge really is that we need three different ingredients in order to make it all work, and I hope that our program management can find these three ingredients in the right amounts. And I will use English terms when I say this. In everything we do, we need vision, mission and passion. And in this area, these are particularly important in order to to create good results. Sitra, for its part, is also strongly committed to this program. We are willing to invest in this program financially and otherwise, and we believe that we are now part of that revolution that the International Energy Agency also is calling for. And I believe that Finland, too, provides an excellent environment for implementing such peaceful revolutions. You might not easily find a better environment for that. Of course, such a revolution must not only be planned, it must also be implemented. So welcome to this seminar, and I wish this program every success. Thank you.